Hello children, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to learn about alluvial soil of India. So first start with the introduction of this soil. So let us know. First of all, if you observe the picture of the soil, you can see the color, as well as through this picture you also came to know that the soil is little bit of stickiness is present in the soil. Now let us see some important part of the soil. So first of all, in the first point we can see that this is the most widely spread, that means within India most part is covered with alluvial soil, and it is also an important soil. So in our further discussion we will come to know why the soil is very much important. In next point we came to know that alluvial soils are found mainly due to silt deposited by which rivers? Indo-Gangetic Brahmaputra rivers. And in coastal regions some alluvial deposits are formed due to the wave action. So mainly beside the river, which river? Indo-Gangetic and Brahmaputra river. Beside this river the alluvial soil is found, which is mainly formed due to the silt. And in the coastal region also few part we can see the alluvial soil which are made up of due to the wave action. Clear? And next one, what is the parent material of alluvial soil? The main parent material is the rocks of Himalaya. So as the soil mainly we can observe beside the Indo-Gangetic Brahmaputra river, that's why we can say that the parent material is from the Himalayan rock. And as the parent material is from the Himalayan rock, so we can say that it is thus the parent material of this soil is of transported origin. That means from one region to another region the parent material has transformed. Next, let us observe how does this soil form. The stages you please follow nicely. In the stage 1, what we can see? First of all, you know that every river mainly has 3 courses: upper course, middle course and the lower courses. As the height of the landform is very much high in the upper course, and in the middle course medium, and in the lower course mainly the flat high. So as in the upper course the height of the landform is high, that's why the river moves very fast. Gradually when it comes near to the mouth or in the lower course, the force of the river reduces. Alright. So as the force of the river here reduce. So gradually as the force is reducing, that's why whatever materials the river carried from the upper course, in the lower course due to the less force the river cannot move very much fast or move too much high distance with these materials. So what happened next? Next, as the river cannot move forward with those materials which the river carried through the upper course, the river starts to deposit all the materials first of all inside the river body. Now obviously gradually the river body will fill up with these materials and the river will not be able to carry those deposited materials for too long time. So whenever there will be heavy rainfall, what will happen? There will be the flood in the river. Due to this flood, all the deposited material inside the river body will spread throughout the area of river bank. And after some time, when the flood will finish and environment will be in the normal form, that time these deposited materials will stagnate the river bank area and they will form the alluvial soil. So here beside the river zone we can observe the alluvial soil. So in this way the alluvial soil are formed. Hope you understand. Just one fast recap. First of all, in the stage 1, what we can observe? In the lower course of the river cannot carry faster with the deposited material like the silt, sand, rocks, etc. So the river start to deposits all this material inside its body. As the time pass, the capacity of the river for deposition decreases, and due to heavy rainfall there is overflow of the river, or we can observe the flood. As there is the formation of flood, after that beside the river bank area those deposited sand slit spreaded over and they stagnate beside the river bank area, and in this way they form the alluvial soil. So this is the full process of the formation of alluvial soil. Next, let us observe some of the characteristic of alluvial soil. So here also you can see how just beside the river bank area the alluvial soil has formed. Now let us see the characteristic. Number 1, the alluvial soil consists of various proportion of sand, silt and clay. So these three materials are present in alluvial soil. Next, number 2, as we move inland towards the river, means from river to the outside area, inland area we are moving, what we can observe? We can see that soil particles appear somewhat bigger in size. So near the river zone, the soil particles are small. But when we are moving towards the land zone, there the soil particles are bigger in size because due to the flood. Clear? In the next characteristic, we can see that in the upper reaches of river valley, that is near the place of break of slope, the soil are coarse. What is the meaning of break of slope? Just see my drawing here. Suppose this is one land and this is a highland. So when a highland come near to the flat land, there this area there is the change of the slope. So this change of the slope is known as break of slope, because from one slope there is a change to the another slope. That's why it is known as break of slope. So in this type of area the soil are coarse. Coarse means the soil particles are very much small. Why? Because all the big materials like sand, sleet, rock, etc. directly when they are coming to the break of zone area, break of slope area, they are creating one obstruction of the land and easily they are breaking down in that area due to the friction, and that's why the materials become very much coarse here. I hope this is clear to you. Next, see some more characteristic of alluvial soil. Just see that. The soil is porous because of its loamy nature. Now see this one, the porous or the porosity. This word is new for you. So let us first understand this one. Porosity or the porous means how much gap is present between the materials or element inside the soil. If the gaps are more, you can see in this kind of picture, picture number 1 and this one picture number 2. So in picture number 1 you can see that the materials of soil are not too much near to each other. There is more gap. That's why the porosity of the soil is high. But in the picture number 2 you can see that the gap between the elements or the gap between the soil elements are not too much high. They are very much near to one another. That's why the soil is less porous. When a soil is porous, it is very much good because easily the air and the water can go inside the soil. So in the alluvial soil we can see that the soil is porous. That means easily the air and the water can go inside the soil, and which can make the soil more fertile, more alive for the plants and also for the animals. Number 2, porosity and texture provide good drainage. So easily the water can include, I explain you, and other conditions favorable for agriculture. These soils are constantly replenished by the recurrent flood. Replenished means year after year, whenever there is flood in the river, the soil get a new layer. That's why year after year the soil become rejuvenate. The soil get replenished due to the flood. Every year there is flood beside the river bank and the soil get more life, more energy for the growth of the plants, and also it helps the animals and human beings. Clear the different characteristics of alluvial soil? Next, what are some chemical properties we can observe in alluvial soil? Means which kind of elements help to make this type of soil? Number 1, the proportion of nitrogen in the soil is generally low. Number 2, the proportion of potash, phosphoric acid and alkalis are adequate. These are sufficient in the soil. Number 3, the proportion of iron oxide and lime vary within a wide range. That means area wise this proportion iron oxide and lime vary. Somewhere it is very much high, somewhere it is less. That depends on the area. Next, now the important part, that where in India we can see the alluvial soil. So let us observe which are those regions. First of all, in the northern part of India, you can see the arrow is already given, that which part. They occur all along the Indo-Gangetic Brahmaputra plain except in few places. This portion, number 1, this is the total area where we can get the alluvial soil at first, the northern part of India. This is the zone of Indo-Gangetic and Brahmaputra plain. Number 2, see this zone. This is the southern part of India. So they also occur in deltas of the Mahanadi, or we can also consider as the coastal region where the alluvial form due to the effect of wave. They are also occur in deltas of Mahanadi, the Godavari, the Krishna and the Kaveri, where they are called deltaic alluvium or the coastal alluvium. So this portion is known as coastal alluvium or deltaic alluvium. Number 3 here, the western part of India. Some alluvial soils are found in the Narmada and Tapi valleys and the northern parts of Gujarat. So mainly in India, where we can see the alluvial soil, first of all in North India, that means Indo-Gangetic Brahmaputra plain. Number 2, beside the river of Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, southern part of India. And number 3, the western part of India, that is Narmada, Tapi and some portion of North Gujarat. Clear? These are the main 3 locations of alluvial soil in India. Next, which kind of crops are very much famous in this soil? Actually, this soil is very much important. At the first page you come to know. Why? Because the soil is very much fertile for growing various kind of crops in India. And you know that India is an agricultural country. So for India, this kind of soil is a blessing. So let us see which kind of crops can be grown in this soil. As the soil is very much fertile, flat because it is present in plain area, and best suited for agriculture. They are best suited to irrigation because the soil is porous, air and water can easily go inside the soil and respond well to canal and well, tube well irrigation. Next, they yield splendid of different kind of crops like rice, wheat, sugarcane, tobacco, cotton, jute, one more important crop of India, maize, oilseed, different kind of vegetables and fruits are grown in this soil. That's why it is very much important for Indian agriculture as well as for Indian economy. So you can observe which crops are grown here, except that some more crops are there. Next, in alluvial soil, there we can see different types according to their age or the formation of their time period. Alluvial soil can be classified as, which are those? Number 1, old alluvial soil or known as bhangar, and new alluvial soil, that is known as khadar. Okay, now let us see what are different characteristic or how does they differ from one another. First of all, khadar soil. It is a new alluvial soil as per the time period. Means whenever year after year the new alluvial soils are formed, the new layer is known as khadar. And the old alluvial soil which are under the new alluvial soil, this is known as bhangar. You can also see the picture. This is khadar, this is bhangar. These are, the khadar is more fresh than the bhangar soil. Next, the lower concentration of kankar nodules, and for bhangar, higher concentration of kankar nodules. Means in khadar there is less number of kankars and in bhangar there is more number of kankar. The new alluvial soil, that means the khadar, is very much fertile, whereas the bhangar is less fertile. The khadar has more fine particles as these are very much new soil, whereas for bhangar it has less fine particles. So we can observe that the khadar is more important than the bhangar soil. Next, so today up to this much, I hope I can make a clear concept of alluvial soil to you. So what does we know today? Let's recap once. First of all, the different features of alluvial soil, then the formation of alluvial soil, after that the characteristic, the chemical composition, then the location of alluvial soil in India, after that what kind of crops are found in alluvial soil, then what are the types of alluvial soil. So this is the full concept of alluvial soil to you. So today I want to ask you some question. Please let me know in the comment section. Name some states of India where this soil is found. So I have made you for some location, the area, but you have to answer me which states are included in those locations. Next, which minerals are present in alluvial soil and why is the soil very much fertile? So thank you students. Have a nice day ahead. Bye bye.